Before we start today's podcast, I want to talk about something that we are very excited about. We now have a creator coin that you can purchase exclusively through the Diamond app. That's right, everybody. We are part of crypto and Bitcoin and all that good shit. If you appreciate local media and businesses and want to get started on something from the ground up, this is the perfect way to do so in today's growing world of cryptocurrency. With inflation rates soaring and the US dollar declining, investing your money in other forms of currency is a smart move. The McAllister Hours podcast is one of the edgiest and fastest growing podcasts in Des Moines, as well as surrounding areas. Purchasing some McAllister Hours coin today is a perfect way to genuinely support us and other organizations. When you purchase your own creator coin, you will see your own deso start to grow as you buy and sell, just like any other Bitcoin. Go to diamondapp.com/u/McAllister Hours to invest today. That's diamondapp.com/u/McAllister Hours. Ho, 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 we are Santa slaves. How's everybody doing today? It's another episode of the McAllister Hours podcast. We're doing a little short solo episode today in place of the Christmas podcast because I do not have the time or the desire to try to do something either tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 23rd. Do this either on the 24th Eve or Christmas Day. So it's here myself while I'm at work, or not while I'm at work. Molly's at work. My better half's at work. But I am joined here today with our special guest, Jeffrey, as always. He's a little quiet today, but that's okay. But what I'm really here to do today is spread some awareness as we get into the holiday season. I guess today will be... maybe I should release this on the 24th. Just so maybe the night before Santa comes, kids can burn their presents instead of opening them because we've been fooled. We've been duped. The man who we all thought was a great, great person is a white supremacist. It's true. Seth Rogen did this harrowing TV show documentary on this. It's called Santa Inc. It's fucking mind-blowing.
When you're a kid, there's only one day a year more special than any other day, and that day is Christmas. And we are the
Special
magic
day.
Behind that day. So let's get these fucking kids some fucking presents!
Yeah.
May I present the hardest working man in snowbiz?
It really shows how low grade the fucking humor. Because I remember Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman being funny. I remember when we were kids, they were funny. School Rock, Sarah Silverman was funny. Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, Seth Rogen was funny. And now they're just not funny anymore. They're like Eminem. They're just washed out, and they're trying to be what they were 20 years ago instead of trying to change as people. And it just shows with this, lazy ass,
Santa Claus!
Hey, Merry Christmas. Whoa, you're on my naughty list.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
Yep.
That's great. I mean,
I love how they conflate those two. Do you actually know? Does anybody actually know people who don't believe in the Holocaust? This is probably just me being naive. I grew up in a small town. I'm sure here in Des Moines that there are plain crazy fuckers who don't believe that. But I have yet to meet someone who actually believes and has told me that the Holocaust didn't happen. And to conflate that with good 50% at least 50% of the population not, believing in the efficacy of the vaccines. It's just crazy. But anyways, I don't know. That bit didn't go near as well as I thought it would because we're solo. It's Christmas. It's the fucking holidays, man. Does anybody like the holidays? Does anybody have fun? No, I'm kidding. Well, kind of. I'm trying to be more positive. I'm trying to be more positive the holidays because I'm a fucking Grinch. It's true. I'm always such a fucking Grinch around the holidays. It's really what it is it's just me being out of my comfort zone. I don't like having the day where I have to wake up early and, I like to just wake up, smoke a blunt, and like watch Christmas movies all day. If that was like, that would be like my perfect Christmas movie. I don't even want fucking presents. The only present I want is a fucking pound of weed. That's the only thing. For next year, if you guys on your list can just put together small quantities of weed and then just put it all in one thing and then just give it to me all at once, that would be a perfect Christmas present. Yeah. Breathe. Yo. Ga. Yo. Ga. So today, or not today, a couple days ago, like last week, Adventureland got sold. It's true. I drink this fucking coffee, man. I go into these episodes already anxious, and then I have these moments where I just have built up like so sometimes I need to, you know what I mean? Do you ever get that when you're just like, like when you're in traffic? When you're in traffic and the car in front of you just will not move. So eventually I got sold by what's the company? Isn't Safari? Palace, same fucking thing, right? Palace Entertainment, and like when I looked them up, I like recognized the logo. Like these are like some interesting guys, but there's another article here, from who, no, that's not the one, but it's taking away from the localization. Is probably the saddest part about this. However, it's understandable because, people were fucking dying last summer. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal. It happens. It's a publicity thing. Really what it is they don't have the money to handle people suing them. And that's the problem with having these, private businesses, these big private businesses. Is because I was like reading the history, the guy who made it died and his kids had to fucking handle it, and the quality is just gonna get lost in that, I'm sure. I only went to Adventureland once, so I may be a little biased to this, but it just they obviously they need to sell it. They need to put some revitalization into it. So yeah, it's going to Palace Entertainment. On Tuesday, Pittsburgh-based Palace Entertainment announced it was purchasing the Altoona theme park. Nick Paradise, a spokesman for Palace, said the deal would be concluded Tuesday. Des Moines businessman Jack Krantz opened Adventureland in 1974. For the first 9 years, it was a publicly traded company. Then in 1983, Jack Krantz brought out other investors to prevent the park from being sold to a group from Chicago. Okay. So it started out like how it is now, more so. At least it's how I understand it. I'm not a fucking journalist or economic type person. But yeah, so RIP, I guess. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Are they gonna have like big stuffed animals now? Are they gonna have Barney? Like Barney or fucking Mickey Mouse dancing around. That wouldn't be a bad idea. In Des Moines, that'd be a good way to like trade drugs. Yeah, they could just put in there like stuffed animals, their tails or whatever. Like a Barney used to keep pot in his tail. They just do that. Des Moines, the interstates merge. Everybody knows that this is the city where one of the top cities where drugs come through. you know, it would be great. You know, a little idea for the drug investors. Holy shit, this fucking coffee. As I drink more. I was gonna talk about that, but I don't want to. Really, the Tool drummer called a guy a faggot, and pointed at him. He got arrested for assault. You fucking, you know, that's basically what happened. I don't know. I thought it was funny at the time. So I'm sorry. This is a fucking. I know these episodes right now aren't really that great. I know it's really just me spitballing. I mean, I was not going to be able to find a fucking guest for Christmas. We're changing the whole format up. So you're just, you know, if you're listening, you're just bearing with my, you know, holy shit, it's only 12 minutes. Okay. Really short episode today, guys. I'm bombing. So Lex Fridman, podcaster, big podcaster. He got recognition. Rogan. He worked at MIT. Has, you know, a lot of scientific credentials. And in his pursuit of podcasting, he has brought it upon himself to. He's really trying to do these like big, high profile podcasts, and I almost kind of understand where he's coming from because, like when I did the interview with Mira Mateka from the Libertarian Party, I listened to plenty of politics in my time, and I thought that perhaps maybe I would be able to hang on a little better. I mean, I don't know, maybe I did okay, but like from what I've listened to and what I've thought about, you know, thinking about that interview, like I just did not have a good. I was not able to like properly follow up with questions and ask questions because like she would just give me so much, and like my anxiety ridden ADD brain be going a million places, and I would just be like trying to, and it would just result to me like wow, you know. So like I get it, but so Lex Fridman did a podcast with the Pfizer CEO, and it was just an example of someone who just can't do an interview. You know, it's a pure example of knowing what you can do. I shouldn't say he can't do an interview. He can do interviews. He can't do tough interviews. There are different kinds of interviews. When you're interviewing something like the CEO of Pfizer, you need someone who is going to be asking hard questions, and who, when they say something ridiculous, is going to say that's ridiculous, and have stats, etc., etc., etc. And Lex failed to do any of this. And I'm not even trying to like. I'm not even like really trying to throw that much shade because I have no standing compared to him. I'm a fucking independent Iowa-based podcaster. I'm full of shit, whatever. But I just found myself really frustrated listening to this. And I think it's a prime example of knowing what you're capable of. So let's just play this. So this is them talking about the mandates. I found this part specifically
policy question. Well, what are your feelings about vaccine mandates? In terms of, do you think the most effective way to vaccinate the population is to require it, or do you go with the American way and give people the freedom to choose?
I think it is
okay. First of all, why did he think that he was going to answer that, honestly? What part of him thought he's going to answer that? Like, here's the problem with Lex, is he has this thing about him where he's like, You know, people are human and loving and blah, 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 all that. And that's great. And that's, you know, to an extent. But when you're interviewing people like this, that shit doesn't work. This motherfucker is wiping his ass with $100 bill every time he takes a shit. He does not care about any kind of moral, like he's not thinking these kind of questions that you are, Lex. Like you're sitting in your closet thinking these questions. This motherfucker is like getting blowjobs from hookers and doing cocaine. Like he is not on the same plane. Anyway,
a very difficult topic and a very difficult decision. Whoever needs to make it.
That wasn't difficult.
And clearly, it's not me.
Spoiler
It is the public health officials of every country that they have to make this decision. I have to make the decision for Pfizer employees, and I had to balance.
I love this because he's like, I'm wondering, like he's like building it up to be like, I wonder how I should do I mandate this or not? Do I mandate my own vaccine?
The fear of those that they work, that they want to feel that the others are vaccinated, and the fear of those that they don't want to get the vaccine. And eventually, I came to the decision that we will mandate it at 5. We are.
And eventually, like it's this hard decision. What was eventually to you? Like 15 minutes? What was it? A 15-minute phone call where you're like, "Hey, like, can I get sued if I fucking just am like, hey, you gotta take this shit." It's just hilarious. It's hilarious how he paints it like this was some tough, awful decision that he had to make. He was like up at night. He's not even trying to, he's not even acting like that, but he's like trying with his words. He's trying to paint it like that. Like it was like this fucking. You gotta love him. Gotta love him. So yeah, that was Lex's big L. Lex's big L on the podcast. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad guy by any means. I think he's a good person. I think he truly believes what he thinks, but it's it's incorrect. It's just if you're gonna interview somebody like that, like I could not interview somebody like that. I could not interview the fucking Pfizer CEO or CEO of Pfizer, whatever. That's why I couldn't interview him, because I can't even fucking say that right. I'd be fucking rolling a blunt and be like, "Hey man, let's start this." I'd be like fucking grabbing this gun and be like, "Mom," like that. Don't arrest me for this, please. Don't. This is not a real gun. It's obviously fake. I remember there were when I was growing up. I'm so bad at. I'm so bad at segues, but we're this deep. We're this far in. We're this far in. So growing up, I believed in Santa for too long, I think. I don't know. I don't even really remember what the age was, but it was at the point where people I was picking up on it from school, So you get to that age where people start talking about it and you're and this is what met me out to be an atheist, I think, is when you look at correlations like that, all these, there are different kinds of people that all believe the same thing. There's something to this, I had 3 younger sisters, so I would go home and I would spout all this. Me and my older sister, we would spout all this, yeah, we heard this, that for this reason, that Santa isn't real. And eventually my mother was driving us home one day, and she said that she got a phone call from Santa and that none of us were all going to get anything if we didn't stop talking about it. So we stopped, and then and I was told later after Christmas that he was real. But it's just such a it's just a funny correlation. I always correlate so much with like religion, Christmas. I mean, well, obviously Christmas, but like with Santa specifically, like people like, especially like strict Catholics, always kind of like shit on the whole like, you know, Santa Claus type of deal. They want to, you know, do the whole more like Saint Nick, the guy who's actually Nicholas Claus or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do when we have kids. Do I want to lie to them about that? Do I want to lie and tell them that bullshit, or do I want to just be like, hey, nobody else in this world loves you besides me and your mother, maybe your mother, mostly me, and your sisters and your brothers, they kind of like you, but they're more just there to just they're getting through the day. You know, you're all feeding from the same. You know, you're all living off me. That's how this was working. Man, it's, you know, it's a savage. Do I want to give him the thought that he's gonna be okay? That there's gonna be a guy with the red hat looking out for him? Or do I want to give him some fucking reality and be like, hey, you're not getting any presents. Nobody's giving you shit. You know who's giving you things? Me. The people who really love you, and not some fucking fat cunt in the sky fucking impossibly, you know, you know how they do like the map. It's just like, and that's the thing, in this day and age of technology, I don't know, you know, people can even believe in Santa anymore. They do like the fucking map where he's like traveling faster than their airplane, like around the globe. Like if I was a kid, like if I was 5 years old and I saw that shit, I'd be like, what? This isn't real. The day and age of people believing in this kind of stuff is passing. Soon there's going to be a political party for Santa. It's not going to be a belief anymore. It's going to be a political ideology. There's going to be a party, and there's going to be a head, and the uniform is going to be fucking Christmas uniform, red, elves, ears, whatever, and it's going to be the white supremacist Santa organization. And it's gonna be a harrowing, terrifying experience, and we're gonna be stabbing our elders and they're gonna be screaming, why? We're gonna say, because you gave us Santa, because you perpetrated this crap onto generations, and now they are white supremacists. Merry Christmas, you cunts.